I am here with the incredible Justin Devonshire, and we're going to be sharing with you one of Justin's specialties, which is how to make $100,000 additional revenue in your business by running seminars, by becoming a seminar leader. So if you are a speaker, coach, healer, author, someone like that, someone who's thinking about doing events, make sure you tune in. Make sure to tag your speaker friends below. Justin, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. Happy to do this. I'm excited.
I know you were just saying you've just come off a big training you were doing as well for one of your private groups, right?
Yeah, just come off a mastermind we do every time this week. Working on their businesses. It's all good, yeah.
Beautiful. So for those people watching, this is going to be a real raw interview. I'm just going to pick Justin's brain. And what we're going to be doing is I have a private group for speakers, which is called Speakers, Aspiring Speakers and Event Organizers. I'm going to pop that up on your screen for you. And in a short while, we're going to get the dates lined up. Justin is going to be doing a live training in there where he goes deep into some of his systems around how you can really create these kind of events that attract a lot of people. Oh, we've got comments already. We've got Melissa says hi. Dave says hi. Hi, everyone. Nice to see you. So this is kind of the warm-up. This is a teaser from Justin. He's going to give you some really solid stuff, but you can't really explain how to do this in just one Facebook Live, right? You need to go quite a bit in depth.
Oh, I do 5-day events on this. So yeah, plenty to cover.
A lot of people, they think I want to get better at sales. So they think I'll go to one sales event, then I'll probably be good at sales. And they're like, no, that's not how it works. Like, I was a sales coach and trainer for 3 years for one of the biggest companies in the world. And it takes months and months and months to teach people this stuff. How long does it really take for someone to nail your systems, Justin?
If you're talking about the actual performing and selling from the stage bit, it's different for everyone. They go in with certain skills. But for me, it took me 10 to 20 seminars to get my groove. The first 5 bombed. The next 5 didn't bomb so much. The next 5 were kind of okay. And then by about number 20, then I felt untouchable, and that's the mastery that people don't want to do and don't want to go through, isn't it? But
it is. I teach people how to run events as well. And sometimes no one shows up, especially your first event when, if you don't have someone teaching you, like, no one shows up. And I've had that quite a lot. People are like, I ran one event, no one showed up. I didn't run another event again. Like, that's just...
What's worse than that is when 3 people show up. Because if no one's there, you're not really embarrassed. But if 3 turn up, then it's even worse, right?
One of my friends booked out for
0 is better than 3.
One of my friends booked out for his first event. It's a 100-person room, and 2 people showed up. And he had the whole stage, AV. He'd spent like 10 grand on the event. And he said, I couldn't stand on stage and talk to them because it was too embarrassing. So I just went and got off stage and sat down next to them and I spoke to them one-on-one. But it's interesting, isn't it? Not a lot of speakers share these kind of stories.
No. But I've had the exact same thing. I didn't put 10 grand on it though, but I did it. I had 2 people there. One was my girlfriend at the time. The other one was a friend she brought along. But yeah, that's it. No, I dedicated myself for a year to learn this because I knew it wouldn't just happen overnight. But I knew it was a skill that if you could dial it in, then it would pay off as a huge asset for the rest of my life, which it's done. And now I'm at the point where I don't do as many events these days, but I do speak here and there 4 or 5 times a year maybe. But I've got my own coaches now promoting events in different countries. We're doing one in Madrid right now. We've got some other countries going on. And I've trained others to do it for me now, which is cool, which shows it is a system that can be repeated and it can be trained. It's not me. I'm not special. I'm introverted by nature, so I had to learn this.
A lot of my top speaker friends were introverts. And I don't really believe in labels so much, like calling yourself an introvert and extrovert. It's just a label, right? It's a characteristic. It's lots of different behaviors. But a lot of the main speakers that I know, they started off as a shy boy. They started off as someone who was scared to speak, and then they had to kind of work into it. Do you find that as well?
Yeah, and yeah, I kind of agree with labels, but it's definitely a predisposition, you know, where and I think the reason is because when we're in the, maybe a lot of your friends are in the kind of speak to sell industry as well, I imagine, like they actually sell on stage, they're business owners.
Yeah.
And so a lot of us in this industry are introverts because we have a more scientific mind, and so we look at the science of speaking, and which makes us more calculated, I suppose. I don't want to make it sound like not a bad word, but we are a bit more calculated in how we present and feed information at the right times. Whereas the people that are more extroverted, they're like happy Labradors on stage, and it's great, they can do that, but then they don't necessarily communicate the information the best way because they're focused only on themselves. Whereas the natural introverts, I find more about the scientific balance of communication to make sure people leave with an experience. So that's what I've noticed in the industry as well. Yeah. So
Justin, some people don't know who you are. I know that's a crime, and we're going to rectify that very shortly. But do you want to tell people why you have the audacity to come on Facebook Live and tell people that they can make 100K?
Well, because I've got a ClickFunnels account that I bought yesterday. Just believe me, because it's on the internet, right? So I mean, I've been in the coaching industry for, God, well, I started teaching martial arts when I was 16, so I'm 31 now. So it's been around about 10 solid years as a coach from martial arts, fitness, personal development, mindset, then the last 5 years business consulting, and I've had it all. I've lost it all. Destroyed businesses, walked away from businesses, and businesses the wrong way, failed at everything. And now I'm in a position where I am 31 years old. I've got 5 businesses right now. I've got a consultancy. I've got a couple of fitness businesses in the UK. We've got an online coaching business. I consult. I work with a lot of the top level, kind of 8-figure speakers, some of the top names. Kind of a secret weapon for them, and I've got a balanced lifestyle. I live out in Cyprus. I've got a young boy. He's 2 years old. I get plenty of time with him. So I figured out that balance finally of being at inner peace, being happy, diving into the spiritual side of things whilst understanding the material, physical, doing side of business. And I think I'm just happier and more balanced than most coaches out there. And so that's why I think people like what I say, and if they come and see me in Cyprus or they work with me, they know, they realize I'm the real deal. And they don't quite believe that I don't do that much. But again, it's through leverage and systems and years of hard work, busting my ass for like 6-7 years. As they say, it's the quote of entrepreneurs are the ones that will work a few years of their life like most won't, so they can live the rest of their life like most can't. And that's what I've done. And so that's a bit about me. I've coached businesses in business, fitness, personal development. We ran hundreds of live events over the last few years. And I've done it. I've been there, done it, still doing it. And that's why I have the audacity. And I've got, and the other thing is not just me. It's one thing for me to say what I've done, but can other people actually follow the same way? Can other people use the same system? I have the audacity because I know it's not me. I'm not special. It's the systems and the strategies and principles I teach people that they are following to create 6- and 7-figure businesses as well. And that's where my audacity comes from.
It's really important, you know. There's lots of people out there who learn something at a workshop and then they start teaching it. And that's cool, you know, that is cool. But don't pretend you're an expert or a guru, right? If you're just learning, because there's people who haven't even taken the first step yet, and you can help them. But yeah, I love that, and I knew you'd were the real deal, Justin. So that's why I put you under the spot like that. But I've got a big question, Justin. I've got a big
Can I
question.
mention one thing first? It's interesting you said that, because when I started doing business seminars for the first time, even though I had achieved some success, it wasn't a lot. My clients started asking me to do business talks, and I didn't believe in myself that much. And so what I did was I would just actually read a book, like a Dan Kennedy book.
Yeah.
I would do a seminar talking about the book and what I learned from it.
Great.
And so you don't have to pass it off as your own knowledge. You can just say, this is what I've learned from this book. I'm not the guru. I'm just sharing the message on.
Well, everything that you've learned is from another person, really. You know, there's most things you learn. It's very few things you actually are brand new that only you figure out. And when you do, it's usually built on the basis of something else anyway. Yeah, I share a lot of other people's stuff. And I really believe when you teach stuff, you learn it. And that's why becoming a speaker is so powerful. You know, when you teach things, you have to think about things in a whole different way. But yeah, don't pretend you're like the guru if you're not. Okay, Justin, we've teased everyone enough. I'm going to ask you a big question now, okay? Are you ready?
Let's do it.
How do you make 100,000 from an event? How do you make 100K from an event? How is that even possible for people who've never heard of this before?
So, I mean, there's multiple ways. There's the fact that what people don't understand about events is most people try and make money from events in the wrong places and at the wrong times. That's the first thing. So most people think they make money on ticket sales, right? But the thing is, if you're a speaker in art, like you're an expert speaker, there's no money in ticket sales. The only people that make money on ticket sales are Beyonce and those, right? Where we make sales from is, you might make some money in ticket sales, but the real revenue is in using your events as a lead magnet, not a product. Most people look at the event as the product. I look at it as a lead magnet, as in it's a mini product in a way, but it's really the instigator to allow people the chance to join my long-term programs where they can really make a change. And I don't think that's harsh in any way, or it's not hiding the ball or anything like that, because if you can do a 2-hour event and you think you're going to change someone's life, then you're an idiot, basically, right? Not even Tony Robbins can do that. So we know that you can't really change someone's life in one event, no matter how much you try and drown them in information. They make a change when they commit to long-term transformation. Your program your event has to just give them the opportunity to do that. And so that's where the real revenue comes from. Now, depending on the price of your programs and different things like that, it's very realistic. People can, I've seen people make 100K from like 6-figure days, right? We've had that. So, some people can do it in one kind of event. For example, you put 1,000 people in a room for a free seminar. You sell a program for $5,000, and you make, geez, how many sales is that to make 100K? So
20 sales. 20 sales.
20 sales, right? So 20 sales at $5,000. You might not even get 1,000 people in the room for that. I put 1,000 people in a room in one day for a business event, but you can put 500 in the room. So if you've got the right offer, you get some practice. It's not going to happen on your first ever event, obviously, but if you put 4, 5, 6 months into this, and like you said earlier, don't give up after the first event, or the second event, or the third one, or the fourth. But by event 9, 10, 11, 12, you'll be amazed at what can happen. And I've got testimonials on my website. People that have made $23,000 in their first event. I've got people made, $10,000 in half an hour on someone else's stage. So with the right offer and the right audience, you can do that. Another way one client I worked with, we made about $250,000 in a weekend. And we did that by doing an event sequence. So that is not really, it's cheating. It's not one event, but what we do is we do a free seminar first. So my client, he did a free seminar. He's a big speaker, works with Tony Robbins and those guys. I filled 400 people in the room for free for the first thing. And then from there, he will dilute the audience by offering spaces onto a 2-day paid event, like a week later. So from 400, come for free. And then out of that, about 150 of those bought like a $99 ticket for a 2-day event. And then at the 2-day event, he said then has a $25,000 program, which he sells several, you know. Yeah. So there's a few ways of doing it, but it is totally possible. And it's hard for people to grasp, but it's just leverage. High ticket, high volume. It's doable.
It is, and one of the things I think that makes a big difference is learning a system from someone who's already done it, because that's exactly what I did. I found a great mentor who had incredible results, and at the event that I first saw him at, he sold a $10,000 package, and he sold 12 of them. So he made 120K. It was a 3-day event. Not bad. And I was like, interesting. Like, how do I do this? Right? Teach me. And I actually found out that what he did is he worked with a big company, a big event organizer out in Asia. And his best ever result is he spoke at an event for 5,000 people. He spoke with Richard Branson. So these big event companies, they'll put you on like a NAC kind of stage with Tony Robbins or someone like that as part of your contract, because they want you to get loads of sales. At that event, 5,000 people, he sold a $100 ticket to a 3-day event, and he got 1,000 people, about 20% of the room. So that's not bad, you know, he made like 100K. But then at his 3-day event, he sold an $80,000 1-year mentorship.
It's not Andy, is it?
No, it's not. It's not. And he sold 25 of them. So he made $2 million in a 3-day event. And I was like, yep, I want to learn from you. That's what I want to learn. So it's absolutely, totally possible. And it's not magic. It's just pure science, right?
Science and practice.
Yeah. Awesome. So for people who are watching, and the people who tend to be on my profile, Justin, they tend to be people like coaches. I have a lot of coaches. I have a lot of healers. A lot of people who want to speak, maybe they're authors and stuff like that. How do people get started with this?
So I've got a great story, actually, of one of my clients from Romania. Her name was Olta. Her name is Olta. She's not dead. Her name is Olta, and she's mentioned healers. So she's a theta meditation.
Yep.
Theta meditation healer. Something like that, anyway, yeah. So theta healing meditation she was doing, and she just got started. She'd done it, she practiced it for years, but only just became a real coach offering it, you know, and quit her job. And we said, like, let's try an event out for you, you know, and we wanted to position her very, very quickly so she could just shortcut her way to the top. And we did this, you know, and I always say, just start small. Take the pressure off yourself. You don't have to be Tony Robbins by this time next week. Even Tony Robbins took 35 years to get where he is.
Yep.
And I just say, you know, keep your costs down. Put people in a room and just focus on giving value. And so we started off just booking out a coffee shop or something for like 15 people. And they didn't charge us anything. In fact, they just gave us a discount. 10% off the drinks for bringing people there.
Nice.
And after that, she was like, right, I want to do this properly. I feel good. I believe in my message. I believe people will listen to this, because at first there was objections like, I don't know if people will come and listen to it. I don't know if they know what theta healing meditation is. Once she saw that wasn't the case, we went for an event, and the very first seminar, we filled up 200 people in the room within 10 days, and she was just gobsmacked. We had so many people piling in, we had to then put a second event on the next day. she showed me the results of the ad campaigns, and she's like, it's overbooked. What do I do? And I was like, book another venue and keep it running.
So comment below if you'd like to get 200 people to your first ever seminar. Let me know if that would be interesting to you.
So you just got to keep things simple. I believe the fastest way to get started is use paid advertising. Because again, we're doing things at scale here. You're doing things with leverage. So part of leverage is doing one-to-many, but the other part of leverage is letting your money work for you. If you only got, $100, $200, $300 or whatever to put into it, if you get it right, it's going to be worth it. If you think about paying £5 or $5 or whatever to get a person to show up in the room in front of you, £5 to put a bum in a seat, like 10 people that I've got, 10 people can make a difference. You pay 50 quid, you talk to 10 people, 2 will become clients of yours.
Yeah.
And you just start from there. And then you just reinvest. Next time you maybe put £70 into advertising and you get 15 people, and then 20, and then 25, and then 35, and then 40, and then 80, and then 100. And you've really just got to have that mindset of like, this is a long-term thing. I'm just building my empire one little bit at a time. And it's not, don't hold yourself to the same comparison standards of the big guys we talk about and the 100K days. And you'll get that if you forget about it for now and just get started.
Stuff like that's really good for motivation. It is, and it is totally possible. One of my friends, she just ran an event and she got 80 people at her event. And at her event, she sold a 4K package and she sold it to 6 people. And, that's from a 2-day event. And that was her second ever time running an event like that. So it's totally possible. And it's good to have that in your awareness, but not to get so super focused on it, because there's a lot of work that goes into learning to do that. Because most people, if you put them on stage now in front of 500 people, they wouldn't have a clue how to sell their product or program.
Yeah.
They would zero convert.
Small audience.
Yeah, that's where you learn, right? That's where you craft your message. It's where you craft your skills. It's where you figure out. And if you make a mistake when there's only 5 people in the audience, it's a lot less expensive than if there's 500, right?
Oh yeah. Oh, I've seen some big speakers make some costly mistakes with things like that. We dial everything in, like systemized to a T. And I bet you do the same. And the speakers you work with all operate at this level. But the pros, it's not a hobby to them. It's an intricate business system where we have events. We estimate how many people are going to want to buy at the end, and we estimate how many salespeople do we need on the sales desk, and we quantify that by we don't want anyone to wait in the queue for longer than like a minute. So
okay.
We're going to have 20 people wanting to buy, and we've got 4 salespeople. That means there's going to be 4 queues of 5 people waiting. And those people need to get served in under 5 minutes each. Otherwise, people walk out the door who are going to pay $3,000. So it's got to be calculated down to the minutes and seconds of having it all run. And yeah, you will make mistakes in the beginning, but it's very hard. If you follow the proven systems that like me and you have, it's extremely hard to lose money on an event. Like, I'd be more impressed if my clients lost money on an event. So like, how do you manage that? Like, it's, you have a bunch of people, you give good value, you have a great offer. Even if you don't pitch something, someone's going to walk up to you and say, how do I work with you? It's hard to lose money when you do this the right way.
Okay, Justin, I want to take you on a journey in an imaginary time machine. Okay. And I want you to think back when you started running your first events. What do you wish someone had told you back then? Like, what would have just made your life so much simpler?
It would have been that probably more on the presenting side of things. Like the marketing, I dialed that in pretty quick. probably more on the presentation side. And the one thing that I learned that really stuck with me is that people, your audience, are not looking for the perfect speaker. They're looking for someone who's perfectly fine with who they are. And that's the thing. You want to, it's about congruence, not charisma. Because people think, well, I'm not as loud as Tony Robbins, or I'm not like, whatever. And I think it's about charisma. It's not about charisma. It's about congruence with who you are. So if you're a deadpan, sarcastic, witty kind of person, be congruent with that and be the deadpan, witty. Look at comedians, right? Look at comedians, they get this. People like Jack D is that kind of comedian speaker. Someone like Lee Evans is just a crazy meatball. So you've got to know, it's about being who you are and amplifying that, not trying to be somebody else. So, because I'm an introvert by nature. I'm not like a loud, happy, clappy kind of person. I would rather just pull up a chair and sit next to my audience, drink a cup of tea and just chat with them and be like, hey, so what's up, you guys, right? That's just, I'd rather do this with a group of 30 people. And so when you, evolve and create your events to maximize you, because you're the voice of it, have it to maximize you, not to conflict with you, people in the room are just going to feel the congruency. That leads to trust. That leads to more sales. It leads to attracting the right people and repelling the wrong people who aren't a good fit for you. And so that would probably be it.
Awesome. So, Justin, I know you because I saw you did a retreat away with one of my friends, which is Ket McQuarna. I saw you guys were doing some retreat together, and I was like, super cool. And then I went to look at the retreat, and it said it had sold out like straight away. Like it didn't even, it was straight away, instant. I think it was within 24 hours or something, right? And I was like, wow, okay, that's interesting. How do I do that? What's your thoughts on that kind of model, the retreats and stuff? Because that's a big part of what I'm doing this year, is creating these transformational retreats.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, Keten's a good friend of mine. I met Keten by actually promoting events for him around in Europe and putting him on stage, and then we met, and now we're business partners. We have equity shareholding in different companies. We invest in startups and things like that. I'm actually flying to the UK tomorrow to have an equity partner meeting with him and a few other people in London for a couple of days. So yeah, and then I help Keten run his events and things like that. So the retreat model, I started doing luxury retreats about 3 years ago, and it's, for me, I think people want to rush into retreats too early. They kind of want to do retreats first. And I see this all the time in like Facebook groups and things like that promote, do your own retreat. And people don't really know what's involved. They don't understand, like, to sell a retreat at a $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 price tag. It ain't easy. You either need a good audience or you need a good amount of money to promote it. And people don't have either of those things a lot of the time when they want to start doing retreats. So I usually use retreats when you've got a firm established audience, when you've done some regular events first. And you've got to have that trust built with the audience to get someone to not only pay you a few £1,000s, but also to trust you enough to like leave their homes, book a flight ticket, come and stay somewhere else and spend a week with you. Right? Yeah. There's not many people in the world who want to spend a week with me, right? So I really appreciate the ones that do. So I think people usually start retreats too early. It's like I call it the promised land of live events, but you got to earn your spot up there. And so for most people doing it, it's kind of maybe deflating advice, but I would say unless you've got a big ads budget or you've got a really thriving audience that respond to you, you're probably gonna set yourself up for disappointment, and you're gonna book a venue, promote it all out, pay out loads of money, and then find you're not getting sales and then have to cancel it. That happens 9 out of 10 times I see people do it. Because again, same thing with a regular seminar is because they're looking at the retreat as a product, not a lead magnet. So I think the event you're talking about was about a year ago. It wasn't a retreat. I actually did a 4-day mastermind out here in Cyprus.
Yeah, I think that was.
Yeah, and I invited Ketan to come as a speaker. We did it together then, and yeah, I sold out in 24 hours. I just promoted it to my audience. Hey guys, doing this thing, 8 spots, bam, 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 sold. And so, and people ask me then, they say, Justin, how do you do that? How do you sell out luxury events, high ticket events like that? And I say, well, it's simple. There's just 2 steps, right? Step 1, spend 2 to 4 years building your authority, building a list, putting content out every day, being amazing at what you do, and pushing through the resistance no matter what happens. Step 2, send them an email.
Nice.
And okay, how do I skip step 1? I just want to send the magical email. Like, is it the subject line? Is it the call to action?
What if I make the button yellow? What if I make the button yellow instead of blue?
Yeah, which ClickFunnels page do I use to do that? Which is the high converting luxury retreat funnel page? And like, it's called the work your ass off for 4 years fucking funnel page. That's what it is. So that's been my experience with retreats. Maybe other experience is different. I don't know, but that's what I've seen. When I tried to promote retreats too early, which I did years ago, I tried to do one, didn't know what I was doing. I saw some webinar on it. I was like, oh, retreats are easy. Just do an application form and do a Facebook ad. And I was like, okay, yeah, we can do this. And then, after spending like $5,000 and nothing, I realized I wasn't in the right place. And things are best to come in sequence. So not easy, because the market has leverage over you. You're not a big name unless you're like a Tony Robbins. He can click his fingers and sell out things. But you need to position yourself to the market. You need to go and give them stuff for free first and show up and become the leading provider of education to anyone that will listen and earn your stripes in a way. And then when you do that, find your message, find your voice, find your audience, then you get the spoils later.
Awesome. Awesome. And Justin, I'm going to ask you to share something really powerful with everyone in a bit. But before I do that, I just want to let people know how they can find you, because a lot of people, they might not have heard of you before. They might be wondering who you are. So I know you help coaches and people who want to become speakers to run events, to all the way from, I saw an amazing post you did the other day where you just gave away the formula for how to create like 6-figure events. And it was literally step by step. Like, someone could just take that post, go on Justin's Facebook, see that post. You can just follow that. And it was really detailed as well. I was like, whoa, that's awesome. How can people find you? Where can they get in touch with you? And what kind of people should contact you?
So yeah, I help coaches, consultants, speakers, authors, change makers, anyone that has high transactional value to share with people. So if you're elevating consciousness through health, wealth, or relationships, I want to help you, because that's where I feel I can do my part, is helping, is seeing the ripple effect of my clients and people I help go out and help. I can help a fit pro grow a gym, cool, but then that fit pro transforms the lives of 400 clients of his own, and yeah, that's when you're making that kind of effect. The more lives you're touching like that is when wealth has to come to you. So anyone with who has expertise, know-how, or inspiration on helping people, and you want to be known for it, you want to get what you deserve too, you want to change your life by changing other people's lives. So you can find me on Facebook. Just type my name in Facebook. We're probably linked on this post. Or go to justindevonshire.com, and I've got a blog and freebies and stuff like that there as well.
Amazing. So this is a warm-up for a full training that we're going to do in my speakers, aspiring speakers, and event organizers group. So what are we going to be sharing in that, Justin? Do you want to share with people what we have planned for them? Do you want to give them a little taster?
Sure. So basically, I walk speakers through a 4-part model four P's, which is planning, promoting, performing, and profiting from your events. So number one is how to plan, how to know your numbers, how to get the right audience size, what type of event is right for you and for your goals. Two is promoting. So how do we get the bums on the seats with your marketing funnel and your ads and things like that. Three is performing. How do we structure your talk and how do you deliver it with confidence and authenticity? And four is profiting. And that is how do you make your sale? How do you do it without feeling pushy or without feeling that discord of energy people feel usually when they transition from the content to the pitch. Yeah. We show you how to do that, and also how to do follow-up sales. Because here's the thing: 50% of our revenue comes after the event's over, right? 50% extra revenue is generated from the follow-ups, from people that either signed up to come but didn't make it that night, or did come along and we're just on the fence about your offer. A little bit of follow-up goes a long way. And we've helped big speakers just generate like millions of extra dollars just by following up more. And so that's the four areas we'll walk you through. And that'll give you a good overview of a complete system from start to finish.
Awesome. So let us know if you've got any questions for Justin. We're going to be wrapping up very, very soon. But before we do that, you said a few words that have pricked my ears, Justin. So you said that you're all about elevating consciousness. What does that mean and why is that important?
Well, I think we're kind of going through a period in time right now where people are generally waking up. We are more abundant than ever. We're going through more abundance. This is a time where, like, literally people are quitting their jobs and working online as coaches to help people, right? Without needing university degrees or stuff like that, you know. So the world is changing very rapidly thanks to the internet, which is still developing. People have access to information like personal development information, spirituality, energy healing, how to make money, how to have better relationships, how to be fitter and healthier. And the coaching industry is booming, right? It's rapidly grown to a $2 billion industry this year, according to Forbes. And that's because there's demand. People now are seeking professional guidance in areas that were seen taboo, controversial, or embarrassing or unnecessary 5 years ago. 5 years ago, no one wanted a theta meditation healing coach. Now, 200 people in a room want it. Right, so demand is there. People are waking up. I believe coaches and entrepreneurs like us are the people that are instigating that push into the next level of human evolution. And so that's why it's just my honor and excitement and privilege to be the force helping the coaches do that. And that's what I mean by elevating the consciousness. It's something that's happening anyway, but we're a big part of that, and so we're very important people, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, there's so many people waking up right now. They're looking for guidance and they want shortcuts. Like they don't want to have to figure it all out by themselves and fall over and spend 100,000 on this and experiment. They want someone just to say, hey, look, here's a path. I've already carved it out. It's why Rome became so successful, because what Rome did is they built roads between every city so people could go there faster. And I really see that's what we're doing. That's what we're here to do. And there's something really cool I learned, which I'm sure you already know, but it's super exciting for anyone who's watching. That Google said that at the moment, roughly 3 billion people on the planet have access to the internet. Roughly 3 billion. Google are predicting that by the end of 2020, so that's just in 3 years' time, all 7 billion people on the planet will have internet access. Whoa. So what that means now is anyone who starts getting their funnels, who starts getting their systems, who starts getting their websites and all these things ticking along and creating this lead generation that you're talking about, in 3 years' time, you're going to have 4 billion new people to play with that are all going to be looking for guidance too. Like, if that doesn't excite you, then I can't help you, I'm afraid.
No, and with the new targeting options and, you know, AI behavioral response stuff in the marketing, it's like you can target anyone of any interest, and Google and Facebook getting more and more data as time goes on. which, yeah, it's a bit frightening in some regards, but also if it's used responsibly, then you get to send a pinpoint message to anyone in the world at any place, and the world's your oyster.
We've got a comment from Dave Hobson. He says he completely agrees that the dawn is happening. Great, Dave.
It's connected with Dave on Facebook, actually. Yeah.
Oh, amazing. Dave's incredible. Dave is a guy that everyone should connect with. Everyone watching this, connect with Dave Hobson. He's called the Smiles Generator. He generates smiles. That's what he does. He gives people smiles. He's an absolutely incredible guy. Awesome. Justin, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to wrap up. I'm going to ask you one thing before we do. And then for anyone who's watching, we're going to be doing a specific training, which is Justin is going to be training you in my speakers group. So I'll just write the name for that again. So it's speakers, aspiring speakers, and event organizers. And you need to apply it as application only, because we want to make sure the energy in the group is tight. What's your thoughts on Facebook groups, Justin, and controlling the energy of it?
Oh, that's great. I've been running Facebook groups for like 6 years, I think, pretty much. I was doing it before it was cool. And it's great to have communities like that. And yeah, same thing. I've got a free Facebook group, and I removed 1,000 people from it recently, because growth is the thing that kills Facebook groups. If it grows too fast with the wrong people in there, it becomes a virus. So keep it small, keep it tight, quality over quantity.
Beautiful. So, Justin, I like to end my interviews with this question, okay? Because a lot of people talk during interviews and people listen, but they have to do stuff, right? You have to take some action. Otherwise, you're not going to get any results, right? It's like what you were saying before. You can go to a 2-hour seminar, but unless you actually commit, you're not going to get anything, right? So my question to you is, if there is one thing that the people watching can take and put into practice that will have the biggest impact in their life, what one thing would you leave them with?
Just that, you're going to fail 100% of the shots you don't take. So, realize it's about mastery. And again, the not giving up thing. You might not get this right the first time. You might do. If you have mentors, you have a system, you probably will make good money the first time you run an event. But if you're going to go and do it on your own, you're choosing the trial and error way. So it's just trial and error. It's not failure. It's just feedback. Get up, try it again, get the data, try again. And nothing worth having comes without you putting the steps to mastery into it. Simple as that.
I think it's a really important mindset shift for especially British people. I know the audience watching is all over the world, but in Britain, we have a very negative perception on failure. In the US, they have a totally different perception on failure. The big successful entrepreneur friends, if you read any of the autobiographies from big entrepreneurs in America, you're not classed as a real entrepreneur until you've had your first failed business. Like, if you haven't failed in a business, you haven't tried hard enough. And I've had so many failed businesses. It's just a part of the process, because most people don't get it right first time. If you do get it right first time, awesome for you. Most people don't. Like, how can we help people shift that mindset? Because I think that's super important.
Yeah, I don't know if I can help anyone shift it. It's one of those things you're going to learn from experience, that when you're either outcome focused or you're process focused. If you're outcome focused, then you're living and dying by if it's a failure or success. And you'll never achieve real success, because when you achieve one thing, you just want the next outcome, and it'll never be enough. It'll never be enough. Whereas if you focus on the process and you detach from the outcome, then the real growth, the real benefit, the real joy comes from the process of getting there. When you do a 100K event, we're not actually in the back room, like just throwing piles of money in the air going, oh, I made $100,000. We're sitting reflecting of like, wow, what a journey to get to this point. I remember when I was making $100 from a seminar. That's the part that is the growth along the way. And that's what it's all about. So you're either focused on the process and the growth, or you're focused on the outcome. And life will knock you on your ass enough times where you'll finally get the message. But that's your choice, and you'll learn lessons either way, right? So everyone's on their own journey. They'll learn it when they learn it.
Beautiful. I want you to know, if you're watching this, Like, if you want to succeed, if you want to be really, really successful in anything, keep fucking up. That's the way to learn. Keep pushing yourself. If you're not fucking up, you're not taking enough risks. Like, if everything you do is perfect, you're not taking enough risks. Like, you're not pushing yourself as much as you can, because if you are totally comfortable, you're not stretching, you're not growing, you're not trying new things, and then eventually you're going to stagnate, and it's not going to work anyway. So that was one of my friends. She's an amazing healer. She's like, Luke, if you want to be successful, just keep fucking up. I was like, thank you. That's amazing advice. Beautiful. Justin, thank you so much. And guys, I'll keep you posted of when the training's going to be. Do join the speakers group. Do connect with Justin on Facebook if you want to learn how to create these big events, these 6-figure, 7-figure events. If you want to just learn how to maybe make a few thousand in your first event, or you want to get some systems in place, Justin is the guy. If systems terrify you, if you don't know what that means, you just know it sounds good, connect with Justin. Thank you so much, bro. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, look forward to next time. Thanks, everyone.
Take care.